MA.
Hello and welcome to Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders, a special series that focuses on some of India's leading brands and brings you face to face with the people behind them. On the show today, we are in Bengaluru exploring the house of Rare that owns a premium menswear brand and also a recently launched women's wear brand and has plans of getting into lots of different verticals. Take a look. With humble beginnings as textile traders in Mumbai in the early 1980s, the Radhamani Group, helmed by its founder Murari Lal Poddar, transitioned into manufacturing textiles for major brands in Europe over the next 2 decades. In 2006, the Radhamani Group shifted gears with the launch of a state-of-the-art garment manufacturing facility in Bengaluru. Spread across 10 acres with an annual production capacity of over 3 million shirts, the Radhamani Group has been manufacturing garments for the choicest labels in Europe ever since. Wanting to replicate the group's success in the European market, founder and creative director Manish Poddar launched Rare Rabbit in 2014, a made-in-India menswear brand that curates and designs fashion with an unconventional style and aims to transform the Indian man's everyday approach to dressing. And now I'm in conversation with the founder and creative director of Rare Rabbit, Manish Poddar. Manish, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you with us here today.
Pleasure's mine too.
Well, you come from a business family, the Radhamani Group, and your father started off with textile manufacturing, textile trading first and then manufacturing back in the 1980s. And then, of course, the family business moved towards manufacturing garments. So in that sense, would you say your path was always cut out for you, that you're going to be in this line?
For anybody who's that young, it's important that you get a line directed and shown to you. And it happened to be from my father's business. I've seen him playing around with textiles and coming over with fabrics home, carrying it around in Bombay City to various clients' meetings, and I would be intrigued to see his bag and whatever's there in it. At the same time, there was a big influence I had on looking good and well designed for myself. There was very less availability and accessibility for myself, but Bollywood could keep me always engaged and involved in what's happening, the new cuts that Mr. Bachchan would have or Mithun would carry. Not knowing much where I could get those or get an access to that, but kept a lot of registration in my mind.
Okay, so in the early 2000s, you all shifted gears from textiles and got into ready-made garment manufacturing. What was the thought process behind that? How did that journey start?
I felt that in India we had much higher opportunities to design and create. It happened to see from a window of an Italian brand which had a linen shirt with block printing from India, which was selling at almost an exorbitant price. And I just felt that I could create such lines and such Indian-centric fabrics can be used for European charm.
And that's how Rare Rabbit happened?
No, that's how actually we took a leap and we set up a factory in Bangalore. So for getting this factory started for manufacturing, which is a very highly automated shirt manufacturing factory, which was housing all necessities of value additions like embroidery, garment dyeing, garment washing, treatments for denim, PP spray, printing. So this whole journey continued till 2014. In 2014, I personally, who has been always involved in design from fashion, architecture, paintings, all of that, we felt that I have to create a brand for India.
What was that thought process with which you launched Rare Rabbit? What did you think was going to be the USP of this brand that was already entering a market that's pretty overcrowded as far as clothes are concerned?
We are a clothing country. I mean, from our childhood, you can see everyone in our family and our weddings are full of clothing first. and that's the biggest desire that we have. Wedding means dress up, and so we felt that let's map the market, what's available in India. We mapped variations, the gap in the market. It could be colors, fits, details. We didn't want to come up with a brand which was just to give you another layer. We wanted a brand which is also not a pronounced logo brand.
Right.
So, because I personally have never worn any apparel which has got a branding on it, because it kind of discriminates and gives you you judge the person by what he's carrying. So it kind of shies you out, and I've never done that for myself. Rare Rabbit was a formula created with a pilot store which we had in our office, and we had to even decide the size. We didn't want to overgrow ourselves and shoot our foot, because no one is going to believe our story at the initial stage. Retailers, mall operators, retail partners, the large format stores of India. We had a learning that we will have to only go with our own stores for the first round, which is quite a capex high, and it would give us a better visibility. And that's how we started with Rare Rabbit Men.
Right. And what is your pricing strategy? Are you targeting, I mean, I know you're for the urban consumer, but amongst the urban consumers, you're targeting the premium segment. Where would you place yourself?
We've actually managed to create a niche of a shift between availability and luxury. So we are more on the premium side. We are not so expensive in terms of price level. It's hardly 15 or 20% up from any available Indian or available accessible brands in India, international or Indian actually. So, and at times we are the same, but our product quotient is much higher. Detailing of every product is like a discovery. One will actually feel when he wears it. Time to time, he will have a journey for himself.
Right.
So we are more about details inside the product for himself than for someone who's looking at him.
Now your company is called the House of Rare. What are the brands that are housed under House of Rare, and what's your plan for the future?
We feel that having started two brands for men and women, and of course it doesn't stop me or our team, as well as Akshika, who leads the women line, to start with the children line called Rare Ones, which is already on the drawing board, and followed by we are looking at partners to come under various other aspects like Rare Homes and a restaurant, which is also...
That's a lot of big plans.
Yes, it's actually big because we would like to enhance and extend the experience of our customers from the wardrobe to everything that they do, because it comes from the same house, and everyone thinks and breathes the design logic and philosophy the same way.
And if you had to pinpoint your design philosophy, what would that be across House of Rare brands?
We have actually been able to challenge and get the men to think more beyond the blues. And fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know why, but the worst seller for us is a blue color as a men's brand. So we have actually been able to penetrate a men's wardrobe with more challenging vibrance inside. I am sure the family appreciates our Rare man, who dresses up a little different from the conventional pattern that he would have had, or someone who's actually was already an out there fashionista guy. He also gets his extension more from us. Products are colorful, very highly detailed, very highly accessorized. It's a full look store. The store actually also sells many other visual aspects. It sells art, which is from Lumas Gallery. That is also an expression of what I own as a very high collection in my private life. So it's a House of Rare where we would also cater good designers who we can feel appealing and bring them on board and sell their product under their name.
So Rare Rabbit as a menswear brand is sold only in India, or are you exporting it as well?
So we've already started our footprints in Malaysia. We are on our independent level already in talks to have a store in Spain and a wholesale market created in Spain and France. So that would be our a big pride of taking made in India noise from India to overseas, where I've actually stayed and I've seen India from there for most of my life, and I would love to see our brand. It would also be a message that actually in India everyone can do it, and the House of Rare is actually a message that we can do it. Anyone should do it and everyone should do it.
So given that we are in the digital age today and technology is playing a huge role in all aspects of our lives, how is technology changing business for you, whether it's on the manufacturing floor, whether it's in terms of enhancing customer experience? What all are you doing with technology at Rare Rabbit?
Our manufacturing facility started with a very innovative and interactive barcoding system, which is in-house developed, which monitors and breaks down the efficiency loss, because we were running in India smaller runs and high boutique garments, but we still wanted to run it on the conventional manufacturing line. This has actually paid us back for decades with no development in it and cost such involved. In the retail side, we already have a BI, a business intelligence software, which has been the core for the brand, which also has an extension of an artificial intelligence which tells us efficiency losses and inefficient stores or inefficient styles, colors or sizes which are selling here and not there. Our team has been very acute, very small. It's not a large team network at the back, where human minds are thinking on merchandising, logistics or shuffling of things. It's the system which actually draws reports to us on a weekly basis, and we make weekly shuffles in our stores.
Great, that's good to hear. And on the numbers front, what sort of goal are you setting for this financial year? What sort of turnover, number of stores? What is it that you're looking at?
Well, this year has been good for us, which we closed 2018-19, where we've reached 48 crores top line. The next financial year or 2021, we are absolutely on track to reach 100 crore plus top line, where there will be a bigger emphasis of women line, should be a 45 to 50% in the next leg of the growth that we have done or we'll be doing, followed by the children line, which will be called Rare Ones. And this should summarize the apparel episode for our House of Rare, and then we can probably look at diverting elsewhere in some other lifestyle products.
Great. And your one long-term vision for the House of Rare, where do you want to see it, say 10 years from now?
I hope I can, or we as a family and as a company can be the instrument of making you look at yourself and bring the rareness out of you. So if a country can get rare in everything that they do, that's our biggest goal in the House of Rare. Not just by clothing, it's also every expression that you do and carry forward at home and at your workplace.
All right, great. So on that note, we are going to head into a short break right now, but stay with us as we explore the women's brand from the House of Rare. It's called Rareism. On the other side of this very short break, you are watching Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. Taking its style and comfort agenda one step ahead, the House of Rare recently launched Rareism, a chic women's wear brand that signifies individuality and originates from the sensibility that women love to dress up and look their best.
Changes coming down on me, can't seem to carry 'em all.
Welcome back to Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. On the show today, we are in Bengaluru exploring the House of Rare, and in this segment, we are going to talk about its women's wear brand, Rareism, with its founder and creative director, Akshika Podar. Akshika,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
First up, Rareism. That's your women's wear brand, and the menswear brand is called Rare Rabbit. So I understand the need to have rare in there, but what was the whole thought process behind keeping the name Rareism?
We had to keep rare for sure, and we wanted to bring in two powerful words together, because we have very powerful mottos also at our team essence, which is empowering women, the power of women. So when we brought in Rare and Ism together, it kind of matched very beautifully with the following of realism and the power of women that we wanted to create here as a women's wear brand.
Right.
So which is how Rareism came about.
Okay. And you've just launched your first store in Bangalore. So first tell us, how is the store doing? How has the customer response been to Rareism?
Actually, it's been fantastic. So we had an expectation of a certain amount, and we've shot up by almost 45% from that, which is very exciting, very encouraging. We are hoping to have many more successes like this, but till now Bangalore has been fantastic for us.
Right. And why women's wear at this point in time, considering that this is a space that is over cluttered, over competitive? How challenging is it for a new brand to really come in, and what is your USP? What is it that Rareism is going to offer that's different from anyone else?
We've always had plans to launch a women's wear label. The reason it took so long was because we went into very in-depth research. We wanted to study the needs of fashion for every woman. So there is a lot of fashion available for either older women or younger women, but I did honestly feel a gap, that there was a lot of missing points where somebody who's very young, a student, or even a grandmom, for example, and a working woman in between. So from this journey to that journey, I wanted to fill the gap where a woman can wear something and feel good about herself through the day. If you see the line of clothes, it'll speak the essence that you can wear in the morning, go through it in the day, and then again continue it till at least an evening, if not a formal party.
So what would you say is the brand philosophy? What is the thought behind the design that you want to offer to the Indian woman?
So our motto is comfort with style. Style is very important for a woman. It's one of the first things we think about. A cloth, you know, what you're going to wear today is the first thing that we think about when we get up. Lives are, according to me, so busy, so stressful nowadays that we wanted to bring ease to that. So when I say comfort with style, it doesn't mean just easy, boring clothes. It means that you feel very stylish, yet feel comfortable enough to just pick up something, wear it, and accessorize it in the most minimal way, and you'll still look beautiful.
What are the highlights of the spring-summer collection of 2019 that is already in your store this year? What sort of colors are you playing with? What sort of designs? And are these influenced by globally whatever's going on?
So you see, there is always an influence, because you see the colors and then you want to have those colors too. So there is an influence, but also there is the understanding what suits the various skin tones that we have. You know, from a Kashmiri to a South Indian, we have such varied skin tones. We've kept that in mind. So even when we decide our colors, we have many colors. We have a green story, we have a pink story, which doesn't mean it's only pink, but it has quite a few number of pinks, it has a few number of greens, oranges. But when we place those colors, at least one tone of orange or one tone of green should suit 5 skin tones. A woman, she should feel happy when she comes into Rareism and says, hey, I can pick up something, which actually is what we love to achieve, and I think we're achieving it. Yeah.
And on the store design front, I know that you have a love for all things pretty and perhaps going on to opulence as far as stores are concerned. So what is the theme of your, you know, what's the thought behind the visual design and the visual concept of stores?
So, you know, I love to keep my stores very minimalistic, very clean lined, also because if you have the background, which is like a canvas, the products become the art, the garments become the colors. That's how we've kept the store look. But we also like to provide our consumers with all the engages. We try to engage all their senses. Seeing that they come in, there's beautiful music playing most of the times, which we again hear through the day, so that we kind of feel it's not boring, and it kind of makes you feel pleasant. Then we have a nice smell always at the store. Our trial rooms are very engaging. We've thought of little things over there where a woman, if she keeps her mobile while she's undressing and changing, she has something and then she doesn't forget it, so that it's at eye level and not higher and lower, which has been pretty well accepted, and people have given us appreciation for that as well. So we've tried to give them not just an experience with our clothes, but also with the stores, a complete comprehensive experience.
And as far as the research and development and the design innovation is concerned, is that all done in-house? Are you partnering with anybody outside?
No, it's all done in-house. We have a fantastic team of young freshers, which we feel are always nicer to have, because they're not molded by their previous companies or design strategies. So they come up with their own very beautiful fresh designs and ideas. We haven't partnered with anybody. We like to do this all in-house, and it's very exciting to keep innovating all day. If you've seen our office, you'll see a great work culture there, where everybody is just busy trying and wearing and creating new clothes.
Yeah, so the Radhamani Group has always believed in doing good and giving back to society. As the second generation of the family, how are you and Manish taking that forward?
So for me and Manish, actually both of us, all CSR activities begin from home. And when I say home, it is our company. And from the time we started the manufacturing unit, we've had almost 95% of women workforce, for whom we have from then been providing the sanitary hygiene and help whenever they require it, and also to make life easier for them and for them to be comfortable and easy enough to come to work. We give them a really good lunch every day at the factory, which is not just a lunch because it's labor, it's because we like to eat that lunch as well. Like me and my kids actually go on Saturdays and eat with the ladies who are working there, which is a fantastic experience. So that's one. We, wherever possible, we try to take care of their families and education. Whoever needs it, they have an open door policy to come and talk to the managers at the factory, and then they escalate it to us, and wherever we feel we can, we give to them for their kids' education, because both of us really feel education is the future of our country, and it will take a lot forward then.
Great. And from here on, when you look at the long-term goal, what is it that you want to do with Rareism, say a decade from now? Where do you want the brand to be?
I want every woman to have at least one piece of Rareism in her wardrobe by the next decade, which means a large population of India. And then, like I said, I want it to be in Europe, I want it to be in US, Singapore.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, Akshika. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this episode of Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. Hope you enjoyed those insights into the exciting story of the House of Rare from Bengaluru. We'll be back next time with lots more. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.